Okay, for today's lesson, you're going to learn how basically to knot your fabric on a sewing machine. We don't go through a normal knotting process. It's all done with this right here, your reverse or backstitch lever. So you originally cut out 8 rectangles, so hopefully you have at least one left. You should have 2. If you don't have one left, just need to cut one out real quick. I'm actually going to take it and I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm just going to fold it in half. Kind of give it a little finger press there so I can get a good half. Okay, so it's going to basically make 2 smaller rectangles or 2 squares. I'm not really sure on the dimensions of this one. Okay, so that's going to give you 2 little rectangles. Okay, so once you have your 2 rectangles, you're going to put them together like you're sewing them together, because that is indeed what you're going to do. Okay, so make sure your edges are lined up really well. Okay, nothing should be overhanging. I am going to go ahead and put a couple of pins in this because I'm going to be moving around a little bit, and I don't want it to come uneven. Okay, so for this exercise, you're going to want your stitch selector on the 8. Okay, so make sure it's on the 8. That is the center, the average stitch you're going to use pretty much every time. We're going to line this up to any marking you want to. Okay, if you want to use the 1/2 inch or the 5/8, I'm going to go ahead and use 5/8 because that's what we usually do. So basically I'm going to be showing you how you're going to be using the backstitch lever. It's this thing here. I'm going to show you twice, and then I'll show you what you'll be doing for your basically your assignment. Okay, so I am lined up to the 5/8. I'm going to go ahead and drop my needle down, or drop my presser foot down. I'm at the very top of the fabric. Okay, I'm going to first take a couple of stitches. Okay, so that was about 2 or 3, and then to knot this, I'm going to push this down. I'm going to keep it pushed down and go backwards until I get back to the beginning of the fabric. Okay, that right there knotted it. And so then I'll just go ahead and sew the rest of that seam. Okay, and I will show a closer up version right here where I'm going on the machine. I'm going to take out my pin as I go. Okay, as you can see, I'm kind of getting towards the bottom of my fabric here. When I get down to the bottom, like right about there. I mean, if you come off a little bit, that's fine. Okay, again, I'm going to push this lever down, keep it pressed down. Okay, as I keep it pressed down, it will sew backwards. Okay, so I'm just going to sew backwards a couple of stitches, and then I just go forward again until I'm off the fabric. Okay, so what that does is it locks your stitches. You can kind of see where I did that. Okay, it's a little darker in each place. This way my stitches are not going to come undone. My seam will not come undone. It is locked. It's not, you know, coming loose up here. It's not coming loose down here. So you always do this at the beginning and the end of your seam. Okay. So again, just for clarification, put your fabric in the very beginning, sew for a few stitches. I'm trying to get this. Okay. Push your back stitch lever guide down, sew backwards for a few stitches. We're going to sew normally all the way down to the bottom of your fabric. You get to the bottom, going to use your backstitch lever, push it down, go backwards a few stitches, Go forwards a few stitches, and you are locked with that stitch there. Okay. So for your assignment, that is all you will do too. You can sew it using any seam allowance size you want, but you're going to backstitch at the top of the seam and at the bottom of the seam. Okay, you're going to do this twice, and the bottom. That's it. That is backstitching.